welcome back to Seelin Plays Beyond You. I have no idea who I want to work with. It's gonna be a tough decision, but I think we should work with Aiko or Haruka, cause Kana and Yumi are, I don't know how they feel about the player character. So, I think I'm gonna do Aiko. I think Aiko and I would work best together. Oh, you want to spend your practical time with me? Really? I suppose we're the ones who seem to be the most serious about biology. That's it, isn't it? You want to keep an eye on me, don't you? I'm not here to steal your position as top student. Aiko laughed and seemed so much brighter for it. I thought it'd be best to keep my friends close and my enemies, well, I don't want to be your enemy. I'm sorry if it seemed that way yesterday. Oh, you were kidding, weren't you? How dramatic. I hope I'm not your enemy. I hope I'm not anyway. I smiled at Aiko, my head tilted to the side. She seemed like the most obvious choice, given her studious nature. She made no secret of it, and it motivated me to work harder. Haruka would understand, wouldn't she? Probably not, because she seemed kinda angry earlier. Anyway, Aiko refused to meet my eye as she fidgeted with her bow. I'm not entirely sure what this bonding exercise is set to entail, but in any case, let's do our best. Other pairs have entered the room while their counterparts remained in the main classroom. I could see a mix of familiar students and transfers from Minami, intermingled and chatting fondly. There have been 12 students added to an already large 19-student class. The lab would have been impossible to make use of. Mr. Saito had remained in the main classroom, separated by the folding door that split the rooms. He could see into the room, however. I'm not too sure what he meant by a getting to know you week. Are we meant to come up with our own experiments to learn about one another? Not in that way. That sounded really wrong, and unfortunately I couldn't read the rest of it, but she's gone. Before I could speak, Aiko took off towards the front of the classroom. She hadn't stopped speaking, just sprinted and mumbled into the distance. She was at the front of the classroom digging through sheets of paper. I couldn't see her face, but what little I could see was bright red. Unfortunately, it's nothing exciting, Seelin. Merely some laboratory safety guidelines and a quiz about lab safety to confirm what we listened to yesterday and can read. Aiko sat down at one of the workstations where she placed her worksheet. She then carefully placed another sheet so it would be in front of me, or rather where she expected me to sit. She began reading without waiting for my response. If there was any to be had, I don't know why I expected anything more exciting from Mr. Saito. I sat down beside her, afraid to move the paper. It had been placed with immaculate precision, aligned to the edge of the tables, perfectly parallel. Aiko noticed, finally, that I hadn't begun reading. She turned her wide eyes like headlights. Are you going to read, or? Her brow furrowed as she shifted her chair to face me. Enough that her knee bumped mine, her lips pinched and her cheeks plumped with a shy smile. I know it's boring, but we may as well look like we're working, otherwise he'll be in here ready to yell at us. Aiko picked up the sheet to offer it to me. You can never be too safe. It seemed less intrusive to take it from her hand, rather than disturb the paper on the table. It seemed so formal before. It was just a piece of schoolwork after all. Aiko kept her chair tilted toward me, her bottom lip caught between her teeth as she read. One lock of her hair fell across her face, but she hadn't seemed to notice. Her hair was like a cloud of fairy floss, and I'm staring, aren't I? I think if we talk quietly, we should be fine. Aiko shot a look over her shoulder, but snapped back forward after only a glance. Her eyes were fear-widened, her lips pursed together. He looked this way. I snorted quietly, my brows furrowed. We are allowed to talk, you know. It's meant to be a group task. Behind us, I could hear the other half of our groups locked in discussions about the lab rules. I had to wonder how we'd be expected to reconvene into a group of 5, but whatever. I was with Aiko right now. Are we meant to compare results with the others? I believe the groups were devised to give Mr. Saito a reason to split us across the lab room. There's not enough room for 30 students. 31. Aiko smiled, faltered, but she nodded, as if the correction wasn't quite right. She let it slide, fluffing her hair to the side. Are you actually interested in biology or just in me? It's too early to tell? Both, I guess. I don't know. Why not both? I am interested in biology. I have been for years, but it's a nice bonus that I get to spend time with you. I see you. You do not look impressed. I'm sorry. Anyway, Aiko looked at me for a moment longer before she turned away. Her lips pulled to one side in a thoughtful expression. I think these answers are clear enough. Blue flames shouldn't be left unattended. Always ensure the gas is turned to the off position. And don't drink chemicals. No fun. Aiko giggled. Her tongue poked out for a short second before she shook off the silliness. Don't drink anything strange now, no matter how delicious it looks. I don't think anything looks delicious when it comes to science, just saying. One time, Yumi, her expression went blank, as if the story died in her mind. Never mind. Is it embarrassing? Perhaps. In any case, I can't really remember what brought it on. Just that she drank something from the class one time. Aiko's expression became strained, as if deep in thought. It's okay, sometimes you remember something and then you forget it before you can even say it. That is true. That makes her sound dumb though, doesn't it? No, not dumb. It happens to everyone, really. Aiko smiled blankly at me, as if she couldn't relate. Still, she was nice enough to nod, as if she knew what it was like. We continued to work in agreeable silence. Aiko kept sneaking glances my way and at my work. I had finished before her, though my answers were considerably shorter. I noted down answers as concisely as possible, while Aiko took her time on each response. Probably because her handwriting was so neat. Does Mr. Saito make you do this every year? I think all teachers do. It's required, isn't it? Usually for first years, not at this level. I shrugged, reviewing my work for the day. Perhaps this is so he can kill time while he tries to plan for classes twice the size that they're meant to be. Aiko shrugged a shoulder, her hands folded onto the piece of paper in front of her. I hope these lectures he mentioned taking place this week. I would hate to do the busy work for a whole week. Seems wasteful. I don't know if I'd call this time wasteful. Oh, spending time with you has been nice, of course, but we could do this outside of class rather than, that is... Aiko fumbled over her words for a moment until Mr. Saito walked into the practical side of the classroom. Collect your work. You'll be comparing with the rest of your group. Friday will be a case study, so a step towards practical. I need to be sure I can trust you to work within the space, given the number of students, so don't disappoint me. I wish that day one of the actual classes had been a little more exciting, but spending time with Aiko was nice. She was incredibly prim and together, so it was fun to see her fumble for a moment. It was a contrast to Haruka, who was impossible to keep contained, and I wasn't looking forward to the walk home. Class wound down, which left me in my routine. Usually it meant that I'd wait for her by the front gate of the school. The quiet was good. It gave me time to think about the changes this year. I don't know how I'm gonna handle a year of working with Aiko. She's too fun to tease. Excuse me, Seelin. A girl approached me the same year and I recognized her. Hey, Aaliyah. While Haruka was my only friend at school, Aaliyah was, well, I'm not sure what we are, but we're on good terms. Okay, you're interesting. She was too busy with being class president in her studies, and we fought over that often. She's the closest thing I had to a competition for top students, and that was enough to put an end to us. She's quiet right now anyway, but she's rarely quiet for long. I need to talk to you. We're talking right now, aren't we? Privately. She sounded nervous when she clarified she wanted to speak in private. Before I can answer either way, she grabs me by the hand. I'm not particularly short or tall, but until I met Yumi, Aaliyah was the tallest girl I'd ever met. She pulls on my hand with ease, given she does sport alongside her studies. I don't know how she has the time. I don't know either. Anyway, Aaliyah seemed to have somewhere in mind, though she didn't say as much. Instead, we rushed towards the school and into the closest building. The library was ghostly quiet, without the usual rustle of papers and the clack of keyboards. No one was in here. Not much use for the library, given it was for after hours, and only the second day of classes. Besides, most people use the internet. I stepped further inside, gawking at the eerie quiet of the disused library. The air was stale and still. I haven't seen you in ages. Not since last year. You could have visited her. And you could have visited me. That's not what I needed to talk to you about. I don't want to fight. I actually had a favor I wanted to ask of you. A favor? This is important, and it has to stay between us, okay? Just say what you need, Aaliyah. Being cryptic doesn't help your case. It's about Minami School, the fire more specifically. I stare at Aaliyah, unsure what she could possibly mean, or rather what she wanted from me. I've been asked to keep an eye on some of the girls from that school. The ones you were partnered with. I know their school burned down, yeah, but why keep an eye on them? There's more to it. I just don't know if I can tell you about it. Well, I can. Aaliyah heaved a sigh, more relaxed now that we were alone. It started during the holidays. I was given the role of class president. She flashed a hand toward her chest and at the pin on her blazer. I was unsure how her role as class president affected the fire, but I listened. I crossed my arms over my chest and tipped my head. I was asked to come to the campus the week before school started. I thought it was about my duties to the school, or maybe they wanted to take photos. I scoffed, unable to keep that quiet. She smiled in spite of herself. They do that for the purposes of staff or the yearbook. In any case, it was a private concern by someone within the school. They were worried about the students who've transferred here. Not all of them, and to be honest, I think it's just paranoia. They think one of the girls started the fire at the school. Wait, what? More specifically, they believe Kana was responsible. They don't have any proof of this, just speculation. I narrowed my eyes at Aaliyah, unsure what to even ask of her. Kana had seemed the most upset about the school burning down. Kana was seen talking to herself often, and in strange parts of the school. She's not hurt anyone that they know of, but she's been put into therapy multiple times since childhood. Ooh, that's rough. I wave a hand at Aaliyah. My defense is raised. Just because someone goes to therapy, it doesn't mean they're a danger to anyone. I'm just telling you what they told me for the sake of context. What I wanted to ask you is if you'd be able to work more closely with Kana to keep an eye on her for me. Aiko was a top student like us, so she'd have no reason to attack the school. As for Yumi, she's not smart enough to pull something like that off. She's gotten this far through her sports achievements. She'd be the first to admit that. That's what they told me in any case. Why not have Haruka keep an eye on her? She's in a group with her too. Do you really think Haruka can be trusted with something like this? She'd probably lie and say they all did it. Aaliyah huffed out, her bangs ruffling with the whoosh of air. Besides, when has Haruka ever listened to me? She's never liked me. Not since you and I, Look, I wouldn't ask you to do this if it wasn't important. And like I said, chances are that this isn't even true. But I'm working with someone else. Then change. I don't care how you do it. Just make it happen. Once I find out who the culprit was, you can change back. But for now, this is beyond me or you. and you need to understand that. Just think about it. You want to keep Haruka safe, don't you? Do the right thing. I'll check in with you to see what you find out. And feel free to text me. We should do coffee again sooner. That's more threatening than anything else. I feel weird not acknowledging that we'd gone on a few dates, but we both got too busy with school for that. She danced around it, but it was 1 kiss? 2? It felt so long ago, and I'm not about to chase her down. Seems I have plenty on my plate already, and why would that duty fall onto me? To be honest, it almost sounded like Aaliyah was jealous. She ended up in the other science class. If they want Aaliyah to keep an eye on Kana, wouldn't they have put them into the same class? And she expected me to drop whoever I was working with for Kana, or she made Kana out to be an arsonist. I think that's how you pronounce that, I don't know. Either way, you cut it. It doesn't sound like that reliable. And it seemed like something the police would handle, not me. The afternoon was beginning to creep over the city, and I needed to find Haruka. If she waited, that is. There you are, Seelin. I thought you died or something. I had to laugh at her hyperbole, even if it felt rough after my conversation with Aaliyah. Or is it pronounced Isla? I don't know. You'll never guess who I just saw run past. Huh? Little Miss Prissy, why isn't everything perfect? Oh, Isla, or Aaliyah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Yep, Haruka had popped the pea a little too hard, spitting onto me in the process. She failed to notice even as I wiped my face. I never did get why you liked her. I guess she's tall and pretty and smart and smells nice, but like, what else? I narrowed my eyes at Haruka, who raised her eyebrows. What did she want? Yeah, she wanted to catch me up with what she did over the holidays. Lies! But okay. And she couldn't do that here while you waited for me? I shrugged, and I felt immediate relief when Haruka shrugged it off. I'll just add her to my list. List of girls trying to steal you away from me. Wasn't she the first one on that list? No, that was Sakura in 8th grade. She stole my seat next to you and spent a whole class throwing candy at your desk, which got you in trouble for the candy, and me in trouble for allegedly punching her. Haruka had the nerve to say allegedly, when everyone had seen her sucker punch Sakura so hard her nose bled. Damn! Sakura and Haruka had a history of tension though. Sakura tended to pick on Haruka as she always responded. Haruka had zero cool about the things she went through. Some would say she was passionate, but they were generous. Can we go now? We'll be here all night if we don't get along. Sure. I can't believe you remember who had a crush on me first. Oh, she wasn't first, but she was first on my list. That's very dramatic. I don't know, people just seem to like you, Seelin. And my list got a whole lot bigger since yesterday. Haruka split off down the street as she lived a few houses down. It was easier to part ways earlier. Plus, her dad hated me. My parents both worked and were inconsistent with their hours, which left me home alone. I was used to it. Despite a full day at school, I didn't feel hungry. There were packaged meals in the freezer or soups in the pantry. The empty house crowded me as I slipped off my shoes. The big scary shapes outside my windows lingered like monsters when I was a child. What windows? I don't see any, besides the 2 skinny ones on the door. But anyway, now they greeted me as old friends. They tapped their branches upon the windows and staring in with moon-wide eyes. They never come inside and only looked in to keep an eye on me. In truth, the only person who'd break in was Haruka. She turned up with more bruises than words. We didn't talk about it much, but we watched the monsters outside the window together, my arms around her. All we have was a blanket and some of those instant meals. It's funny how easy it is to feel safe as a kid. She stopped coming here over the summer. I hope that means things improved for her sake. I kicked off my shoes before I went further into the house. As my conversation with Aaliyah resurfaced in my mind, my appetite went away altogether. I think it'd be best to ignore whatever Aaliyah was talking about, right? What else could I do? I'm not about to pick apart the girls. And it sounded as if Aaliyah had only heard about them. I would have noticed if something was off, wouldn't I? Plus, I'm not a police officer. I'm not going to be able to crack the case. I rub my shoulder until I feel it pop. I had some history homework to do, with a little interest in beginning. Usually I got home much earlier, but my time with Aaliyah had really taken away my afternoon. I'm surprised Haruka even waited for me. But then again, she knows I wouldn't leave without her. It's sweet of her to have stayed, even if we both know she's never in a rush to go home anyway. I look at my bed, severely tempted to call it a day. A message. Is it just me or today was a waste of time? Nah, it sucked for sure. It was, uneventful. Certainly not what I expected of a final year class, to say the least. Even she thinks it's a waste of time. The nerd can't even handle it. It was nice to work with Aiko though. I really do hope you are as dedicated to biology as I am, or else. Is that a threat? No! I'm merely expressing my expectations for the year ahead of us. I wonder if there will be a time where we will have to work as a group of 5, or if we're going to be split as we were today. It'd be dumb to make such a big song and dance about groups and then not actually make us work together. Do groups ever work? Everything is easier when it's just 2 of us. More people means a broader experience and more accurate results. Imagine if you were born with only one option of who you become close with. It isn't much of a choice. Well, we didn't even get to choose, so neither did we. Face it, we all have someone we prefer to work with. That or we want to be alone. We don't need each other, none of us do. Not as badly as they're suggesting. That's the point of this. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Whether we need one another or not is irrelevant. We're designed to work together in a group setting. As such, we will operate as a group until we no longer need to. I have work to attend to, so I will be leaving. You should all get some rest too. I let my computer sit idle as I unpacked my bag. With no appetite and no interest in homework, I have a few options. Binge watch something or sleep earlier. I guess I'll risk it and just put something on. If I pass out, I pass out. With that, I changed into my pajamas and curled up in bed. I angled my laptop to watch from my bed, curled into a ball. It didn't take long for me to fall asleep. Even with my hectic day with obligations overhead, homework was a future me problem. Do you believe you're smarter than everyone else? Yes? Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave this part here because my voice is giving out. And that's crazy that Aaliyah or Isla, whatever her name is, said that one of the girls burned the school down and we gotta figure it out, like what? But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And I guess I will see you all next time in another Beyond You video or whatever I make next. Goodbye for now.